Welcome to the channel. I am your host, Lord Lizard. Today we are going to be doing a tier list for the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 weapons in zombies. Only zombies, no multiplayer, no campaign. We mainly make zombies content. For the tiers, we have S, which is the best of the best, A, B, C, D, and hot ass, okay? So let's start with the NX Shadow Claws. Man, I've used them like once or twice, and they really are hot ass. I've never got to pack-a-punch them, but they just don't do any damage. They take multiple hits to kill. I wouldn't recommend these guns or crossbows, if that's even what they are, to anybody, okay? Up next, we have the Dingo, which man, the Dingo is probably one of the best guns in Call of Duty Zombies. I'm going to go ahead and put it in S. I was thinking A, but we're just going to put it in S because there's nothing this gun can't do. It's really one of the best guns in Call of Duty Zombies, and it deserves to be an S. And it's kind of like an assault rifle with a big clip and a big ammo reserve. Up next, we have the AK-74U, and I am thinking let's put this in B. Okay, we're going to put it in B for now, but it might change later. We might put it in C, depending. The AK-74U is a submachine gun, a classic from Call of Duty Black Ops 1, and it was also in Call of Duty Black Ops 2, but it feels like it has a little bit more power per bullet than some of the SMGs in Call of Duty Black Ops 3. But I'm happy we got to see it in Zombie Chronicles and also some of the, the newer maps. Up next, we have the Banshee. This gun is on the map Revelations. It's only in Revelations, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in D. I really didn't like it. It's kind of like a power core shotgun. It has a weird reload. It's just weird. It's really weird. I've used it. I've pack-a-punched it. I've used it for a couple of games. There's just much better shotguns out there. And Call of Duty Black Ops 3, especially in zombies, has some really good shotguns. Okay, we're going to go ahead and just put the Annihilator in hot ass. The Annihilator is the worst specialist in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies. I don't like it. Honestly, it shouldn't even be in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies. Okay, up next we have the BRM. And I'm going to put the BRM on B. It really feels like an M60 updated. It's a real chunky gun. It's got pretty good damage. There's a lot of really good LMGs in Call of Duty Black Ops 3. And the BRM is kind of a slower one. Not as slow as the Gorgon, but it just feels like an updated M60. And it's not bad. It's not good. It's kind of in the middle there. Let's go ahead and go for the Bloodhound. We're going to put the Bloodhound in C. It's really good. It's good at killing the Margwas. It's only in Shadows of Evil, so that's a shame that you can't get it out of the box. In the Zombie Chronicles maps, that'd be really cool if you could get pistols out of the box. The M1911, maybe the Bloodhound. I mean, even the Mauser. If you could get the Mauser on Shadows of Evil, that'd be crazy cool. We're going to go ahead and put the M1911 in C. What a classic, awesome weapon the M1911 is. It's been in, almost all the Call of Duty's zombie maps, and there's a reason for it. It's just a great gun. And I'm glad it's in Zombie Chronicles, because I do not think it was in the Zombie Chronicle maps at first. Up next, we have the Draken. Okay, this one's kind of, the Draken is a hard one. I don't know if it should go to S or A. I'm going to go ahead and put it in S. This thing, when you're high rounding, this thing is just a headshot monster. Preferably, if you take the sight off, it's an S tier gun. If you keep that sniper scope on, I'd put it in A tier. But nobody in their right mind is playing the Draken with the sniper scope on it. Okay. Up next, we have the 48 Dredge. Man, if this thing wasn't a 6-shot LMG, if it was a full auto LMG, I think this thing would be just as good, if not better, than the Dingo. But I just think the 6 shots, really holds it back. So I'm going to... see, I don't know if it goes to B or if it goes to C. Man, it's a great gun. It's a great looking gun. I'm going to put it in C. And I'm going to put it in C because I feel like it doesn't get played as much because of the 6-round burst. Whenever if the 48 Dredge is the first gun you get out of the box and it's round 4, that 6-round burst is way overkill. You're wasting so much ammo. But whenever you're in the high rounds, it actually is really nice. And it's really accurate. It's decent. It's just, man, the 6-round burst kind of holds it back. Okay, up next we have the FFAR. And we're going to put this thing... We're going to put it in... Oh, this is so hard. Because it's a great gun. I mean, this FFAR has as many bullets as an LMG. We're going to put it in S, okay? We're going to put it in S. It has just as many bullets as an LMG. It fires so fast. It's accurate. It has a sight. It's way better than the FAMAS in Call of Duty Black Ops 1. It's a beast. It really is. It's not on every map. It's not on all 14 maps. But if you get a hold of this gun, pack-a-punch it, and you will be blown away. Another gun that's kind of in the FFAR's, category is the Galil. And the Galil doesn't fire as fast. We're going to go ahead and put the Galil in. Oh, man. See, it is the Galil as good as the Dingo, the Draken, and the FFAR. It doesn't fire as fast as the FFAR. We're going to go ahead and put it in A tier, even though, honestly, it could be an S tier. And they're just really good guns, man. I'm so happy that they brought back the FFAR and the Galil. They're great guns. Up next, we have the Gorgon. This gun is slept on like crazy. This is an A tier gun. This gun, it fires slow, but if you have all the attachments on it, this thing is a beast. Man, this thing hits so hard. It doesn't have the fastest fire rate, but even in the high rounds, man, you can kill a lot of zombies with this gun. It's extremely, I don't even know the word I'm looking for, but per ammo, killing zombies, it's extremely effective. That's probably not the exact word I'm looking for, but man, this thing can kill a lot of zombies with the ammo that it has and the power that it has. Up next, we have the Haymaker. We're just going to go ahead and put the Haymaker in A. It's kind of hard to put it in S. It runs out of ammo so fast, whether it's Pack-a-Punch or not. But the Haymaker is just, it fires shotgun rounds so fast. It's great for killing panzers. They literally disappear, just get in their face, pull the trigger, and they're gone. This thing hits so hard. Man, this thing is a street sweeper. You know what I mean? And it's great. It's fun, too. I mean, you feel so powerful. And the noise it makes, the bang, 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 it just feels so cool. Up next, we have the HG40. The HG40 is only in Zetsubono Shima, Gorod Krovi, and maybe in some Zombie Chronicle maps. But I'm 100% sure it is in Zetsubono Shima, and it is Gorod Krovi. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put the HG40 in C. Because I feel like if I had to pick between an AK-74U and an HG40, I feel like the AK-74U would do more damage, it would kill more zombies. But the only thing the HG40 has is it's more accurate. It's a good It's a good submachine gun. It's kind of a tie between the HG40 is a submachine gun that feels like an assault rifle that doesn't do as much damage as the other assault rifles. That's kind of where I'm putting it at, kind of the balancing factor. And if you look at what we got, in S tier we have the Dingo, the Drac, and the FFAR. I'm happy with those. In A tier we got the Galil, the Gorgon, the Haymaker. Those are, they're really good guns. That's what A tier is for, is right under the best of the best. In B tier, the AK-74U and the BRM. Decent weapons. C tier, we have the two starting pistols, the Bloodhound and the M1911. The 48 Dredge, honestly, I might move it down to D just because of that 6-round burst, man. That's holding it back so much. The HG40 is really not horrible. I would put the HG40 over the Bloodhound and the M1911. The Banshee is really not that good. And Hot Ass is perfect. Those two are dog shit. Okay, up next we have the HVK30. This thing is going to go in B. The HVK30, man, the HVK, the KN44, and the ICR always get lumped together every time I hear somebody talk about them. But the HVK, to me, out of those three, is the one that fires the fastest, has a little bit more ammo. It actually has pretty good hip-fire accuracy, but it just feels like it needs more bullets to do the same amount of damage as something like the KN. And the ICR is just extremely accurate. So I think B is really good. Would I put the HVK over the Haymaker? No. Would I put the HVK over the Gorgon? Probably not. And the Galil is way better than the HVK. So I'm happy with where it's at. And, literally just like I said, it gets lumped in with the ICR and the KN44. They're up next. So the ICR-1, we're going to go ahead and put it in A tier. It's just a really good gun. And in all honesty, out of the HVK, the KN, and the ICR, I didn't like the ICR-1. I thought it was the worst. I kept hearing YouTubers talk about how good it was, and I was like, what are they smoking? The HVK is better, the KN is better. And then after changing up the attachments and just using the ICR more, I see what they're saying. Like, it's extremely accurate. It has good headshot damage multiplier. It's just a really consistent gun. Like, accuracy it's so accurate. This is the M27 from Black Ops 2 updated. And it is crisp and it feels good to use. I like it. Up next, we have the KN44. Honestly, this thing was my baby. When I first started playing Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which, honestly, it hasn't even been 4 months, but within those 3.5 months, I have put so many hours into this game. The KN44 was my go-to. It was a wall weapon, and it hit like a fucking truck for an assault rifle. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put it high B for now. And I feel like it should go to A, but, oh, man. It's just, it was my go-to, and maybe nostalgia's putting it that high or putting it towards B, but it has way more damage potential than the ICR and the HVK. It's pretty accurate if you put a grip on it and you have all the setup right, and it fires fast. The only problem, and honestly, the only reason I'm going to put it in B is because it runs out of ammo so fast. That's it, If it's not pack-a-punched, that's cool. It's, 750 points to buy ammo every other round. But if you pack-a-punch it, 4,500 points to keep buying ammo for it, that'll drain you. And that's why I'm going to put it on B. Up next, we have the KRM. Oh, this thing is hard to, to place. KRM, it's above C. It's B or A. 750 points. Classic shotgun, pump action. You know what? We're going to put it in A just because it's a wall weapon, because it's so cheap, and when you pack-a-punch this thing, This is a boss slayer. The KRM, it's good to see in a modern Call of Duty game with jetpacks and everything that they still have a pump action shotgun, especially in zombies. And I'm going to put it in A just because how cheap it is, how good it is at single shot damage, and how good it is at killing bosses. I just feel like if you put it in B, it wouldn't be fair. Like you're getting so much bang for your buck with the KRM. And I feel like that's a fair placement. I will be going over this list at the end. I'll be, looking, maybe changing some things. Maybe, this gun, well, that was an accident. Maybe this gun doesn't deserve that placement. Maybe this gun's better than that gun. We will go over that. But up next, we have the Kuda. And I'm going to put the Kuda in B tier. I think it's up there with a little above the AK-74U. This thing is a awesome points weapon. It kind of feels like an MP5. Just an accurate submachine gun, good for getting points. And there's really nothing to knock on it. It's just, pretty good at getting points. It looks nice. I actually like the iron sights on this gun too. So I run it with a red dot or anything. But I feel like a B is just a good placement for it. And, I would put it up there with the HVK, the BRM, the KN. And then we have the L4 Siege. I'm going to put this thing at C. Honestly, the L4 Siege, this takes so many zombies out. If you pack-a-punch this thing, I think I made it to round 35 on Moon with this L4 Siege. Pack-a-punch it. Run sleight of hand. It's not sleight of hand, it's speed cola. Run speed cola. And, man, this thing just, there's 24 zombies in front of you. You run a circle pattern and you shoot 2 or 3 times. They're all gone. If you know how to use this thing, it's so good. But I really can't put it up any higher because of the limitations. It's a rocket launcher. And is it better than the HVK, the BRM? No. And it sure as hell not as good as the Galil, the Gorgon, the Haymaker. So, because of the limitations of being a rocket launcher, I think C is a good spot for it. Okay, LCAR 9. This is a tricky one because I feel like it should go to D, but I'm going to put it in C. I'm going to put it in C because it has the power of an assault rifle, depending on the range that you're shooting at, but it does not have any ammo at all. You know what? I'm leaving it at C. No, I changed my mind. I'm putting it at D. If you pack-a-punch this thing, which I do not recommend, never pack-a-punch the LCAR 9. This thing runs out of ammo so fast, no matter if it's pack-a-punched or not. It does good damage. Like for a little pistol, it does assault rifle damage. I'm serious. If you don't believe me, just go buy it in the early game and start, headhunting zombies, and you'll be like, wow, this thing hits hard. But you are always going to be buying ammo, and if you pack-a-punch it, 4,500 points to keep, keeping this thing stocked up is not worth it at all. Up next, we have the Locust, and we're going to go ahead and put the Locust at D. Out of the snipers, other than the Draken, it feels pretty good. I mean, you only have like the SVG, and this one feels better than the SVG, but, in zombies, a sniper doesn't really do a whole lot, and I feel like I can't put it up there with the the HG40, the starting pistols, and if I had to pick, I would rather have an L4 Siege than a Locust. Okay, the M14. This thing is so good. This thing is going to go top A tier. If you guys don't believe me, go try this gun out. The M14, it's up there with the Draken. Like, honestly, I don't want to say it's better. The only thing that makes the Draken better than the M14 is fast mags, okay? The M14 hits like a truck. It literally probably hits just as hard as the Locust, but it's semi-automatic. It probably has a bigger clip on it, I know you can get the M14 in all the Zombie Chronicle maps. I'm not sure in about the Black Ops 3 maps, but I do know this gun it's so good. It's so underrated. More people need to use it, and it's for sure top of A tier. And up next we have the M16, and I'm going to put the M16 at the top of C tier. And honestly, it's a good gun, extremely accurate, good headshot multiplier, but I think it has a similar problem just like the 48 Dredge. Like, it's just a 3-round burst, and in Call of Duty Black Ops 1, when you pack-a-punch the M16 to the Skull Crusher, it was fully automatic. But in the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 version, when you pack-a-punch the M16, it's still a 3-round burst. So sometimes that can help you with accuracy, but whenever you're getting in the higher round, you really just want to empty that clip, and you really want to be letting the AATs do the damage, you know. But would I pick the HVK 30 over the M16? Yes, I would. But I mean, I feel like the M16's in a good spot. So up next we have the Tommy gun. Oh man, this is a hard one. The Tommy gun is probably, it's for sure in my top 5 favorite submachine guns of all time in Call of Duty Black Ops. You know, zombies. In Call of Duty Zombies, you know, no matter what game it is. But this gun is not the most, it doesn't have the most damage output. It is probably the best point weapon in the game, but it does not kill zombies like the KN. I'm going to put it at top of C tier, okay? I feel like it's the best point weapon in the game. Hands down. Like, I don't even know what would be next. Maybe the VMP. But I do know this gun, even though it's my favorite, I feel like, you know, the AK-74U probably hits a little harder. And it costs so much. In Origins, it's $1,750 to buy the Thompson. That's insane. And then to buy ammo, it's $880. And you're going to be buying ammo with this thing. It does, I swear, though, if you guys get double points and you get the Thompson, you are about to blow up your points. They are about to inflate like crazy. But it's not the best at killing a bunch of zombies. Up next, we have the M8A7. And we're going to put this gun as second in B tier, okay? Let's go ahead and move the HVK up here over the Kuda. The M8A7 is a headhunter. This thing, I mean, it is a 3-round burst, but I just feel like it does more damage. It fires faster. You can also put attachments on it. So that's why I would put the M8A7 above the M16. And honestly, we could just put the HVK over this because it's fully automatic. But, man, the M8A7 is a killer. It just feels it feels like everything the M16 does, the M8A7 does better than the M16. It just feels that way. Maybe it's off of feel, maybe, I don't have stats backing it up, but that's what it feels like. Up next, we have the Marshalls. Oh, man. The Marshalls are only in Zetsubo no Shima. They are dual-wield pistols they have 2-round shotgun, pretty much pistols. Kind of strange. They are really good at killing thrashers. They're decent for the high rounds if you're running around and you're not camping. Oh man, they're kind of hard to place. The Marshalls. Okay, you know what? Let's do this. Marshalls are the L Siege, the Dredge. I can't put the Marshalls in B. I'm going to put them over the Dredge. I'm just going to put them at C. They're only in one map. They are very good, little handguns. And all the time when I do the Zetsubo no Shima Easter egg, I want the Marshalls. They're actually really good for taking out thrashers. But, I mean, they're just, handheld shotguns, and I can't put it in B with some of the better weapons. Up next, we have the Mauser. And I'm just going to put the Mauser where the other starting pistols. See is starting to balloon up. But the Mauser is in the Zombie Chronicles map Origins. It's the starting pistol, and it's pretty accurate. It doesn't feel like it does a whole lot of damage, but I'm sure the stats are extremely similar to the M1911 and the MR6. And it's a really good, you pack a punch it and you get the Boomhilda. You can't jump like you could in Black Ops 2, in Black Ops 3, and use the gun to propel you, over certain areas. You can't do that as much. So I think it's not as useful in Black Ops 3 as it was in Black Ops 2. So I feel like C is a decent place to put it. And up next we have the MG08. For the MG08, we're going to put it in B, and we're going to put it right above the BRM. And we're going to put it above the AK-74U, not above the Kuda though. The MG08 has a monster clip. It has a lot of ammo. The only problem with the MG08 is it probably makes you the slowest out of any gun in the game. I swear, there's been so many times where zombies have just been hitting at my heels because the MG08 is out. And, you can only get this gun in Origins. It's a great looking gun. You feel so powerful with the MG08. And you can get the MG08 Pack-a-Punch for free if you know how to do it with the Maxis drone, which is awesome. So cool, but really the only thing that's holding it back is mobility. You can't put any attachments on it. I feel like B tier is pretty good for it. If this thing had mobility like an assault rifle, it would be up an A. It has so many bullets, but this, I feel like I move faster with the Gorgon than I do the MG08 for some reason. Up next, it looks like we have the MP40. Well, with the MP40, we're going to go ahead and put it with the HG40. I think the HG40 on paper has a little bit better stats accuracy-wise, and the iron sights are a little bit cleaner. So we're going to go ahead and do that. With the MR6, I'm going to put this down in D. I do not like this pistol. I wish in the maps that you started with an MR6 that you could start with something else, because the MR6 feels like a toy gun. Every time you shoot it, it feels like you're just shooting a toy gun, and I do not like that. I would much rather start with an M1911, the Bloodhound, anything. Sometimes I would start with no weapon and just go buy something off the wall. I do not like the MR6. Why did they do that? Why? Okay, the MX Grand. The MX Grand. The MX Grand is in Zetsubou Shima. It might be in Gorod Krovi. I'm not sure about the other maps, but it is nowhere near the M14. I don't think I would put it in B tier. You know what? I feel like just everything's going to C tier, and I'm probably going to move a couple of guns in C tier up, but I just feel like the MX Grand is going to go to C tier. Probably put it, under the MP40 and the HG40, but you can't reload it, so no matter how many shots you have in the mag, that's how many you got. Until you empty it, then you can reload it. It's good, if you're headhunting, if you're shooting them in the head. Pretty powerful per shot, but I really can't put it too much higher. The Peacemaker, I'm going to put low C. The Peacemaker is only in Revelations, the Peacemaker and the Banshee, and it feels kind of like a not-so-good Kuda in a way. It's not a fast-firing submachine gun. You can only get it out of the box, and it just kind of feels like an accurate submachine gun. But that's kind of all it has. It just kind of feels typical, Maybe if it was in a couple of the maps, I could get a better grasp of it, but it really wasn't that good. And I would probably rather have a 48 Siege than the Peacemaker. Okay, for the Pharaoh, honestly, if you would have asked me 2 months ago about the Pharaoh, I would have put it in hot ass. But I'm going to put it on... top of D, okay? I think it should probably go to C, but with everything in C, like the Peacemaker might be a little better, just because the Pharaoh is a 4-round burst. But go check out my video called Killing Panzers. We killed Panzers with every gun in Der Eisendrache, and the Pharaoh chopped his ass up. It is actually pretty good. It's not horrible. More people need to try it. And I take back all the bad things I said about it in the beginning. And up next, we have a beauty, the PPSH. We're going to put the PPSH in S tier. This thing, for a submachine gun, has as much ammo as an LMG. It fires like a submachine gun. It does really good damage for a submachine gun. It is in Gorod Krovi. I think it's in Verrucht, and it might be in a couple of the Zombie Chronicle maps. It's a crime that this gun they should have put this gun in every single Black Ops 3 Zombies map. This gun is great. I would love to run around on Ascension just shooting, zombies with the PPSH. And it's really cool. It would be really cool because Ascension feels, probably more Russian than Gorod Krovi in a weird way, because in Gorod they kind of got dragons floating around. In Ascension, it's just rockets. You're in the middle of Russia. It's as Russian as it gets, okay? It's a crime that they didn't put the PPSH in more maps, and they should have. Razorback. Okay. Whoops. Okay, Razorback. You know what? I'm going to put the Razorback in. Okay, I'm going to move up the Thompson to B, okay? And I'm going to put the Razorback in C. The Razorback is in Zetsubonoshima. I'm not sure if it's in any other map, but I'm 100% sure it's in Zetsubonoshima. It is a slower firing rate submachine gun that's extremely accurate, and I have used it. I have pack-a-punched it a couple of times. It's not horrible, but there's nothing special about it. And, can't really say a whole lot. It's just kind of an inaccurate submachine gun that doesn't fire that fast. Up next, we have the RK5. Honestly, the RK5 is going to B tier. Are these guns in C tier better than the RK5? The M16, yes. The HG40, MP40, yes. But the RK5 is on the wall. You get so many points from it. I've seen so many people talk about in the beginning of games, it's, one burst from the RK5 and a knife. It builds up so many points, and the ammo is actually pretty good. You actually get quite a bit of ammo for the little pistol. And whenever you do, I don't want to call it the director's cut, but whenever you beat all of the Easter eggs and you beat Revelations, you get the RK5 on as a starting weapon with the MR6. And the RK5, man, I really didn't like it in the beginning. I said that it's just overrated. Like, why do people use it? And then after doing Easter eggs and starting out and using it and just getting massive amounts of points, And it's mainly shooting the RK5 a couple of times and learning when to knife with the RK5. That's when you get a lot of points. I'm putting it at B, and I feel like that's a decent spot. Okay, the RPK. I think this is the RPK. This is going up into A tier. This thing hits so hard for an LMG. I mean, I think it has the mobility as a regular LMG, but it has a fast fire rate, and it hits hard, man. This thing, and it just feels great. It actually sounds like a real gun, and I miss that about the Black Ops 1. Not so much Black Ops 2, but Black Ops 1, they sounded like real guns. Some of these guns in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 feels like you're just shooting something out of the space age. I want to shoot real guns, damn it. And the RPK feels like a real gun, and it looks great. That is just a big-ass AK shooting a giant, rifle cartridge. And it's a great gun. Up next, that looks like the bootlegger. I'm going to throw the bootlegger. Okay, I feel like the bootlegger is either going to go C or D. Let's think about the bootlegger for a minute. The bootlegger is in Verruct. The bootlegger is in Shadows of Evil. I just feel like it never gets used. Like nobody ever is like, oh, I need to go get the bootlegger, you know. So I feel like I'm gonna put the bootlegger at the top of D. Okay, I feel like that's kind of fair. And I'm gonna move the MR6 down to hot ass. I really, really do not like the MR6. Yeah, I really can't say a whole lot about the bootlegger. It feels like a stun gun. It's only in 2 maps that I know of. It could be in more, but it's only in 2 maps that I know of. And it looks like we are almost done with our list. STG 44, okay? With the STG 44, we're going to go ahead and put it in the B tier. We're going to put it under the M8A7. Man, it feels like a KN without attachments, kind of. Like, it kind of feels like, you know, it's got the power, it's got the fire rate. It just doesn't have the luxury of having attachments like the KN does. Not sure Pack-a-Punched. I'm sure there might be little differences here or there Pack-a-Punched, but it feels like a solid gun. VMP. Okay, this is kind of a weird one. If you had asked me 2 months ago, I would have put the VMP probably in D, probably at the top of D. I'm going to put the VMP over the RK5, or I'm going to try to put it over the RK5, mainly because I took the long barrel off of this VMP, and this is my main points weapon in some of the maps I have to do the Easter egg in. Like in Origins, I go for the VMP because this thing gets a lot of points. And honestly, like, if you need it to, I feel like it's kind of an all-rounder. It can do anything you need it to do. It's one of those stepping stone guns. You know, in the early rounds when you need points, or if you're doing an Easter egg and you need to open a bunch of doors, you get the VMP, get you a bunch of points, open doors, and get you a better weapon. But I just think it's one of the best at doing that, just like the Thompson. So I think B is not a bad spot for it. Okay, the Vesper. The Vesper is extremely fast fire rate. Oh, man, I'm going to put the Vesper in C by the HG40 and the MP40. It shoots so fast, you know. If you need it to, it can melt the heads of a bunch of zombies, but you're going to be buying ammo. It is a wall weapon, but you're just going to be buying so much ammo. You know, I'm not sure if it's worth it. For the XM53, honestly, I want to put this thing in S, just because of how good it is at killing panzers. But it's not that good. You know, I can't even put it in B. I think it belongs in C. Okay, you know what? I'm going to put the XM53 in C, okay? Because it's really good at killing panzers, and I'm going to put the L4 Siege, just because it's a better launcher. I'm going to put it in B. If you guys don't believe me, take the L4 Siege and go kill panzers with it. Go kill whatever boss zombies you can get a hold of. They will melt boss zombies. And the only reason the XM53 is in C is because of the ammo count. You know, not Pack-a-Punched, you're only getting 1 rocket. But when it's Pack-a-Punched, you get 2 rockets. And the XM53 I used to beat the Der Eisendrache boss. Sorry for that voice crack. But in the boss fight, the XM53 literally needs 1 rocket shot to the chest of the boss, and it's done. And on the third round on the boss, it just needs 2. And if you're Pack-a-Punched, you have it already ready. It's insane, man. Like, rocket launchers are underrated. Use them, you know, keep them in your back pocket. Use it when the boss comes out. They kill Thrashers, they kill Margwas. Whatever you need to kill, it kills. And up next, we have the Weevil. Oh boy, the Weevil. We're going to put the Weevil. Where are we going to put the Weevil? It's not hot ass. It's not D. It's not C. Okay, it might be C. B or C. Man, this thing, the Weevil, kind of feels like a P90. Has a big clip, pretty accurate for a submachine gun. Man, I feel like we're going to put it... Man, I'm leaning on B, but I feel like we should put it at the top of C. Because it's better than the Razorback. I'm going to put the Razorback, actually, kind of down here. I think that's fair. Yeah, the Weevil's it's just a decent little submachine gun. Feels like it has a little bit more power than the VMP, but the VMP is ahead of it because, the VMP is a points weapon, and we're using these weapons for what we need from them. We're not trying to get points out of the XM53. We're just trying to get the best out of them as we can. Let's go over this list a little bit. In the S tier, we have the Dingo, the Draken, the FFAR, and the PPSH. I'm happy with all of those being there. Maybe the Draken being an A just because, it can't sustain the fire rate, but this thing can melt zombies. In A tier, we have the M14, the Galil, the Gorgon, Haymaker, ICR-1, the RPK, and the KRM. Is there anything in A that I would put in S? I'm feeling like maybe the Galil. Oh, man. Because I feel like the Haymaker can go up. If the Haymaker had more ammo, I would straight up put it in S. Okay, I'm going to put the Galil in S. Just because it feels like... I mean, it's a great assault rifle. It does a lot of damage. And it has LMG types of ammo. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in S. And I'm kind of happy with everything in A. It's crazy that the ICR is above the KN. But, oh boy. See, now I'm thinking, should I put the KN in A? Because if you had asked me... Okay, I'm putting the KN in A. KN44 in A, just because I think it's much better than the HVK. Not much better, but it is better. And I'm going to put the STG at the top of B. And I'm going to put the Kuda below these. Does the M8A7 belong in B? Yes, it does. The HVK belongs. The MG08 does belong in B. I can't put it lower than that. The AK-74U. Oh, I think I might switch the Weevil and the AK-74U. I'm going to do it. Okay. The reason I'm switching the Weevil and the AK-74U is mainly because with the Weevil, you can get attachments, and I feel like the AK-74U hits probably bullet for bullet harder than the Weevil, but the Weevil just has a bigger clip, and it has much more going for it. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put the Thompson above the Weevil a little bit. The Thompson is just the best points weapon I've probably ever seen, and the VMP is close. We're going to move the VMP over the BRM. We are going to put the RK5 at the very bottom with the L Siege. B tier looks... I mean, it looks solid. B tier looks solid to me. Let's move on down to C tier. AK-74U on top of C class. Would I want an AK-74U or a Vesper? Probably an AK-74U. But I'm actually gonna move the HG40 and the MP40 over the AK-74U just because they're much more... The fire rate is makes it more accurate, and I feel like you can get just as much out of the MP40 and the HG40 as you can an AK-74U. And the M16 is up there. Not a bad spot. The Vesper's not a bad spot. The starting pistols are in decent spots. The Marshalls, I'm gonna put. Oh man, the Marshalls are good, but they're kind of a one-trick pony. They can't really do a whole lot. We're gonna, you know what? We're gonna move the 48 dredge up here. That looks good. The 48, if the 48 dredge was fully automatic, this thing would probably be an S tier gun. Okay. Peacemaker. You know what? I'm switching the Peacemaker and the Bootlegger. I feel like the Bootlegger deserves a little bit more respect than that, and I do not like the Peacemaker. Okay, Mauser, Marshalls, Razorback. We're going to move the Razorback up a little bit. It's over there with the MX Grand. The MX Grand's not horrible, but it's just you can't get a whole lot out of it. Like, it's good, power-wise. It's not a point weapon, and if you want something stronger, you're going to go for a KN or something. HVK. It's not a sniper. You'd rather have a Dracon or an M14. It's just kind of in an awkward spot. I'm going to put the Pharaoh over the Peacekeeper. I don't know if I've been calling it the Peacemaker or the Peacekeeper. I apologize about that. Okay, I'm happy with C tier. D tier, the Pharaoh. I really want to put that thing in C tier, but it gets so much hate, and some of it's deserved. Maybe I'm a little soft on it, but the Peacekeeper, the Banshee, the LCAR 9, if it had more ammo, it would be in C tier. The Locust is good. Bro, we're missing the SVG. We're missing the Brecci Shiva. We're missing the Shiva. Wow, what else are we missing? Bowie knife doesn't really count. Argus, we're missing the Argus. What the hell is up with this list? Did they get all the LMGs? So in the LMGs, it's the Gorgon, the Dingo, 48 Dredge, the BRM. I think they have all the LMGs. I think this list is missing a couple of guns, but, with our tier list, I don't think we did too bad. We'll sound them off. S tier, we got the Dingo, we got the Draken, we have the FFAR, the PPSH, and the Galil. In A tier, we have the M14, which we will move the M14 down here above the KRM. You know what? Let's move. Put it above that. That looks perfect. Okay, in A tier, we have the Gorgon, we have the ICR-1, we have the RPK, the KN-44, the Haymaker, the M14, and the KRM. In B tier, we have the STG-44, the M8A7, the HVK-30, the MG08, the Thompson, the Weevil, VMP, BRM, Kuda, the RK5, and the L4 Siege. I'm happy with it. And in C tier, we have the MP40, the HG40, the AK-74U, the M16, the Vesper, 48 Dredge, Razorback, MX Grand, and the starting pistols, which are the M1911, Bloodhound, the Mauser, the Marshalls, the Bootlegger, and the XM53. In Tier D, we have the Pharaoh, the Peacekeeper, the Banshee, the LCAR 9, and the Locust. And in Hot Ass, we have the MX Shadow Claws, the Annihilator, and the Toy Pistol. Guys, I'm Lard Lizard. Let me know what you think of this tier list. Am I straight tripping? Like, what belongs in what? I'm happy with this list. Let me know in the comments. And honestly,